morning, good afternoon, guys. We're back for another Geek Tavern. As always, it's me, Shawn, and I'm joined by Mike.
Yo.
And Aaron.
It's cold.
And we have a special guest joining us this week, Shane. Shane, what is your information on YouTube?
Well, first, I'm not that special of a guest.
Wait,
are you just introducing him as Shane? You're not gonna like? Yeah, I don't have a last name anymore.
Oh,
it's like Beyonce.
Oh, okay, all right.
I asked him what
like
his handles
Sting.
and things
Yeah,
were.
like Sting,
like
cool.
Sting
Something
and
cool
Seal.
like Sting.
I get it.
Yeah.
So
You- I never said your guys' last names. Why is this such a big deal?
it's in our info, so I mean, like, it doesn't matter.
I'm
but-
gonna put his info in.
Yeah.
The info of my YouTube channel at Shane St. Laurent on YouTube.
There you go.
Be there, be square.
There we
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Shane is the one that shot and directed the Jason fan films, I guess we'll call them.
Cinema.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kino.
Probably our biggest hit on YouTube by far on our channel. But yeah, so that's who he is, and he is here to join us. You know, we watched the movie, and now we're going to talk about probably the craziest set of announcements I've ever seen. Like, there's so much.
That's why we brought whiskey.
That's part of it. So, Disney had their investors meeting.
Yeah, so let's just we spent an hour and a half talking about HBO Max last time. Now we're gonna spend an hour and a half talking about Disney and Disney Plus this time.
Yeah.
Mike and I spent a good 15 minutes bitching about HBO Max on subplots.
It was crazy.
Bitching about
How they're
HBO
not pushing
or how Legendary was like was shafted because they were this close to taking the deal with Netflix, and then Warner's like, nope, and they're like, why? And they're like, you'll find out.
Speaking of people being pissed at like HBO Max, the director of Dune, did you guys see?
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, he wrote an open letter and was like, "This is absurd."
He found out on the news, with everybody else, that his movie was gone directly.
No. Yeah, Adam Wingard wasn't told. Denis Villeneuve wasn't told. Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot were paid hush money to keep it a secret.
Gotta keep their star.
Yeah, they were told about it, but they're like, "Here's money, so shut the fuck up." And they're like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's funny how they're like the only people that were paid.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, well, we're releasing it on HBO Max," and everyone else is like, "Excuse me."
Yeah. So
honestly, I mean, that's a shitty thing to do. Like, you worked on this movie, and you're like, "Okay, it's gonna hit theaters this
It'd be
day."
different.
Like, no.
It'd be different if they talked to every director, like, or even just send out a fucking mass email or something.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Is it's like, okay, I mean, you and I talked with Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
If Netflix offered you $260 million, take it.
Yeah.
Like, that should be your choice. If it's Legendary, I don't care if they're a subsidiary of Warner. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's your proprietary film. You can sell it to Netflix. They can't legally, like, block you from doing that. They can't just, like, take your property and be like, nah, it's going on HBO Max for free, and you're gonna suck it. Like...
The other thing I could say on that is HBO Max will probably promote it better. Netflix usually like promotes it one day and then
no one's promoted it yet.
On to the next Fuller House season.
Well, shit, nobody's promoted it, so I mean, they're saving a shit ton in marketing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to. That came to my mind, and
you also have Nolan calling HBO Max the worst streaming service.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's all because they won't put Tenet on.
I disagree with that, but
and I mean, it's kind of his
I
fault
love
they're
HBO
doing this
Max,
anyway. He made them put his movie out and it flopped.
Yeah.
So now they got to do this instead.
And you know what? That's even the thing is, like, I know we didn't review Tenet or anything like that.
we talked about it for a little
Yeah,
bit.
we talked about it. But we didn't like review it. But like, you think about Tenet and it's like, yeah, it flopped. But think about if it had been any other year that movie came out, it would have been a success.
Yeah.
I would say that the climate had something to do with its flopping.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Like, all in all, it's a good movie. Like, anyone would have gone to go see it if it had been any other year except for this shitty year.
Right.
Yep. So let's, because it's gonna take forever. Let's get this started. There was some bullshit at the beginning. Whatever.
Oh, you want to talk about all the international Disney Plus things?
Mulan for
No, it's
free
fine.
now.
Big news.
Still haven't watched it.
I mean,
I'm not going to watch. I don't care.
I mean, I will.
getting it around Christmas time, letting it so Soul for one, but then Milan is going to be like another thing where they're going to bring in people because it's going to be families on Christmas Day, and it's like, oh well, this is on it. Let's buy a subscription for that so we can watch Milan and Soul.
If Disney Plus pays me $30, I'll watch Milan.
Yeah, for real.
Um,
I'm not watching Mulan. Like now that it's free, and if I get drunk enough, I might watch it just to be like, "This is shitty." But
I mean, I've
why did they spend 6? I thought about this today. Why did they spend 6 years on making live action Disney remakes that are just garbage? You wasted so much fucking time and resources to make this garbage.
Yeah, because they
Like-
make money.
Like what? Last year they announced Hercules live action. No production has started at all, but they cast everybody, and I'm like, okay,
I haven't even heard about that.
1 year for 1 year after casting, then they start production. There's another year for editing. 3 years spent on a fucking movie that's gonna flop.
I feel like we got Cinderella was pretty good and Jungle Book was great, and then they were like,
Jungle Book might
they were-
be the only good live.
I think they were on a high horse after that. And
I
then it's
fucking
just-
love Aladdin.
Like,
I
well,
like Aladdin.
I know.
I haven't watched all of it yet, but I feel like Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella were like,
Beauty and the Beast was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like Beauty and the Beast too.
It was fun.
Maybe just because Emma Watson's really hot, but that's it.
Yeah, that could. Yeah. Anyway,
I might be biased.
So the first set of announcements was FX, and I just want to say that I didn't know that FX was so successful. I guess like their overall Rotten Tomato thing was like 86% or
Are
something.
you gonna tell me the next season of Always Sunny is gonna be exclusively to Disney Plus?
No, it's going to be on Hulu.
Oh,
All the FX stuff is on Hulu.
oh, okay.
Thank heavens.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Well, aren't they supposed to be doing an adult?
Yeah, that's
side?
going to be.
Yeah.
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 So it'll probably eventually like make
I
its
don't know.
way on.
I don't think so, but
It'll
anyway.
Maybe.
leak its way
Right
into
next to
the-
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Up next, it's Always
Always
Sunny.
Sunny in Philadelphia.
Anyway, as you just mentioned, they announced that because I didn't put that on here because I've never watched that show.
You're missing out.
I figured. Anyway, the biggest two that I thought was Aliens and Shogun.
Oh, the Alien Anthology's coming on there too.
Well,
It's the first alien story told on Earth, and it's going to be in
Yeah.
our not so distant future.
right.
Oh,
And Ridley
Yeah.
Scott's executive producing the show with Noah Hawley from Fargo. He is like leading the show.
Wait, is this gonna like erase Prometheus from the timeline?
I
probably
hope
not.
so.
Yeah, but like
no, it will.
It just said on
it
Earth.
cannot possibly because that is like Ridley Scott's like baby. Prometheus and then Alien Covenant are like his passion project.
yeah,
I
but,
haven't
he
seen
would-
those two.
but
So he
if
would
it
never retcon them.
but if it's in the not so distant future on Earth, then that would have to retcon.
I don't see that happening.
Prometheus.
They retcon anything, they need to retcon Newt dying and bring him back.
But like it would retcon it. Is what I'm saying is because like Ripley comes back to Earth in what 2154 when she's been floating in space for 80 years or whatever. So it would have to retcon a lot of the Alien franchise if it's in the not so distant future.
I really
I guess
have no
I'll
idea.
say-
I'm just saying somebody's
Fine.
gonna kick Ridley Scott in the teeth.
Probably.
It's
And it's going to be Mickey Mouse.
if it's gonna be like his Raised by Wolves that's on HBO Max. Supposedly that's really good. I haven't watched any of
Heard
it
it's
yet,
good.
but
Mm.
if it's anything like that, I'm sure it'll be good.
Is Ridley Scott heading it? Or?
He's executive producing and Noah Hawley's the showrunner.
Oh, okay. All right. So Ridley Scott's gonna be sitting there tied to the chair, screaming, with, like in Clockwork Orange, with his eyes open, while Noah Hawley's like, "And this is the Alien franchise," flushing it down the toilet. And he's like, "No."
I also
it sounded pretty.
also got
pretty
excited for Why the Last Man finally moving forward.
funny.
It's like a famous Eisner winning comic book. They've been trying to get it done for like 10 years now. It's finally going ahead.
I wish they would have got Neil Blomkamp's version of the Alien out.
Oh, me too. That concept art.
That would have been great.
Oh,
Or Michael Biehn didn't die.
Yeah.
Instead, he got put in the Mandalorian.
I don't know why I put this. I don't even know what it's technically called. I just put Disney Television. There's a Turner and Hooch show Woo.
I think Josh Peck is in that. Pretty sure.
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Drake Bell and Josh
No.
Peck.
We don't talk about Drake Bell anymore.
I love that man.
Wait, why are we talking about Drake
yeah.
Bell?
Because he's
Hashtag me
broke.
too.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a friend that worked with him.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Wasn't Josh Peck.
Did he get me too?
Anyway, I think I put this whole subcategory on here just to badmouth this show. It looked like total fucking garbage. Big
Step.
Shot with John Stamos.
Don't even know what
I mean,
this is.
it looked like trash except John Stamos because that's my handsome man. But the rest around him,
He's a teacher that gets a job at this all girls school, and he's like the basketball coach too.
That's
yeah,
great.
he was
This
like
sounds
he was like
weird.
a college or professional basketball coach, and he got like canceled. So now he's building himself back up.
Yeah.
And a,
It's like reverse Coach Carter. A white coach goes and coaches black girls.
oh no.
Yeah, so that looked like total garbage.
Who
I'm- yeah.
was sitting like writing this going, yeah, this is great.
I don't know.
Normies will watch it, I guess.
I'm not gonna
Until it
go.
gets canceled after its first
Okay.
season.
Like every John Stamos show.
Yeah,
It's not
it's like,
Full
we're
House.
not. We're not renewing this.
So we're gonna come back to Lucasfilm. That's gonna be the biggest discussion we have. Disney Motion Pictures, Hocus Pocus 2 is official.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't care less.
Three Men and a Baby reboot with Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. Does he have his shirt off? That's where you get
Yeah, they
everyone.
probably will. They didn't
I feel
announce
like
a
that's
cast.
contractually
Yeah.
obligated.
It's in his contract.
They didn't announce a cast. Cheaper by the Dozens getting a reboot because we need that.
Of course we do. Is Steve Martin coming back?
Probably not.
No, it's
Even cheaper by the dozen.
Cheapest by the
Um,
dozen.
Dime a
that's why I
dozen.
don't think we need that because I think those movies were pretty funny.
Segue. Speaking of Steve Martin, do you have his new show that they announced in your rundown? Him and Martin Short, Selena Gomez.
I think I skipped. I don't know
Whoa,
where that
whoa!
was.
I know he's best friends with Martin Short, but
Yeah.
like,
I think they showed like a little like animatronic thing. It's called like Murder on This Block or Murder in Apartment C or something like that. It
Yeah,
looked really cool.
I know the
I
last
didn't look
last
up the
thing I
thing,
watched
but-
of Steve Martin and Martin Short was their like dual comedy. Like,
Yeah, I think it's an
Thing that they
original
did.
Hulu drama, so it'll be like an adult show.
oh, it's a drama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, now I'm uninterested.
I thought it was gonna be funny. I want to watch Martin Short freak out about things.
So because we need that. I don't remember if these movies were good or not. Sister Act 3.
Yeah, I've been to 30.
Why are they just rehashing
I don't
all
know.
of these
I don't know.
fucking old ass
don't know.
movies?
I mean, I will say, I have a lot of black people on Twitter, and they were pretty hyped about Sister Act 3.
I mean that's fine. I think I remember them being funny. I don't
Is it
remember.
Whoopi Goldberg coming
Yeah,
back?
she's
Yeah,
coming
she's
back.
coming back. Yeah.
has she done a movie since the last Sister Act?
I don't know.
Was she Guinan in like one of the Star Trek Next Gen
No,
movies
she's coming
that I
back in
forgot
Picard
about?
season 2.
Yeah, and
Is she really?
she's in
I
The
didn't know
Stand
that. Oh, damn.
on CBS All Access. I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay,
sure.
all right.
So this one, I missed it during the actual thing, but with the director and who it's starring, I am super excited. Pinocchio.
Robert Downey Jr.
It's
Oh,
being
no.
directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Tom Hanks.
As Geppetto.
Isn't he canceled?
No,
No,
Tom
not
Hanks
yet.
can't be canceled.
Isn't he living in Greece where there's no extradition laws?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm missing a ton of shit
He
apparently.
can't eat Pinocchio if he's not a real baby.
I guess you're right.
All right.
I'm just saying it sounds weird, man.
Aaron, you shared this to our group chat. Chip and Dale
Oh my god.
Rescue Rangers.
hybrid. Live
Your dad
action.
is gonna love that.
The cast got me excited about that one. I'll
Yeah.
watch the IP.
John Mulaney
Andy
Yeah.
Samberg.
and
Seth
Andy
Rogen.
Samberg. Oh, Seth Rogen's in there too.
Yeah,
Does he play the plane?
I don't know, but I can't wait.
Peter Pan and Wendy, starring Jude Law as Captain Hook,
I
and
thought you were gonna say it's Peter Pan. I was like, holy
No,
shit!
he's Wendy.
Jude Law as Peter Pan. Running
I don't
Fortune
know this
500
name.
company.
I don't know this name, but I wrote it down. Yora Shahidi as Tinkerbell. I thought maybe people would know.
I feel like she was on a TV show I watched, but can't remember.
It sounded familiar, but Enchanted is getting a sequel, I think it is. Disenchanted.
Oh, so after 20 years since that movie came out, they're finally
It's
doing a sequel?
starring Amy Adams as Giselle.
Yep. But McDreamy's back. He's back on Grey's Anatomy. Now he's going to be in Disenchantment.
I thought he died on Grey's.
Patrick Dempsey?
I don't watch that.
Yeah.
What the hell's he been in since Transformers 3?
One, Depp is gone, and we're getting the return of Demp.
Demp. We're gonna have to start making buttons like Harvey Dent, like vote for Demp, but it's vote for Demp.
They showed, I think they showed like a little sizzle reel thing for Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Starring The Rock and Emily Blunt.
Starring, I have it wrote down as Dwayne The Rock.
Del Rock.
Del Rock.
I think we saw something. I think it was blocked on the live stream I watched on Cruella.
Yeah,
starring,
I think all I saw was a picture of her with the hyenas.
Or maybe that's all they showed.
Yeah.
Actually.
Showed her in costume with the hyenas. That was about it.
I mean, I guess I'll take it.
But they announced it was coming to Disney Plus next year, 2021.
Dear God, I don't know why we need a prequel, but Lion King has an official prequel coming.
Yeah, it's directed by the guy that made Midnight or Moonlight.
Yeah, they announced it a few weeks ago, but Disney confirmed it.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Godfather 2, but for Mufasa.
Oh, so Robert De Niro is playing Mufasa?
Yeah.
As well as Marlon Brando?
Yeah.
And The Little Mermaid.
Remember when that movie got announced and everyone gave it shit for having a black actress?
So that was that.
Any of these live action, I just don't give two shits about. The Jungle Book was good. Everything else is just garbage.
I like Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and Jungle Book, and that's about it.
I just like every time that Disney,
Aladdin.
And Aladdin.
every time Disney does a live action, I'm like.
Like, I remember seeing Dumbo in theaters, and I was depressed for a week after watching.
I have not seen that one.
Don't save yourself the 2 hours.
Yeah.
They lose their charm when it's done in live action. In fact, I forgot Dumbo was done in live action.
Dumbo without the racist monkeys isn't a movie I want to watch.
I was trying to honestly, like, apparently I blocked that out. Like,
yeah.
I forgot I ever watched it.
Yeah, Michael
I
Keaton
confused
played
it
the
with
bad
the I confused it with The Greatest Showman, and I was like, oh. Where's the flying elephant in this movie?
Oh my god. These just quickly on most of these. Disney Animation, Raya and the Last Dragon.
I can't wait for that movie. You said be quick, but I don't care.
It's $30 though. That's the one that you have to pay.
I'll pay my $5 at the cinemas.
Yeah. Encanto.
Excited for that one too.
I think it looked good. I can't remember.
It was
Coco 2.
It's like a family of magicians. It's not it's Colombian. It's like a Colombian family, and they're like magicians and stuff. Caught my attention.
I don't know if this is a sequel or a prequel, or well, it can't be a prequel. Baymax is getting a movie, I guess.
TV show
or TV show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a big sequel for that, and it never happened.
Yeah, they said it's going to be a sequel, and we're going to see more of what is it, San Fran, Tokyo.
Well,
Yeah.
Obviously, Stan Lee isn't going to be in it. So
they said it's going to be like a procedural, or every episode Baymax has to help a new citizen in the city.
I know why they never did the sequel, because T.J. Miller got canceled.
Oh,
true. They should just get Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, they could just recast him.
Zootopia Plus. Apparently,
I was hyped because I love Zootopia, but I will say the trailer for this looked pretty lame.
I didn't see it.
Looked pretty lame.
Tiana?
I too like Zootopia, but
yeah. Tiana? I don't know
That's
what that
Princess and the Frog.
I've never seen that
Keith
movie.
David.
Me neither.
Keith David.
I want to. Nobody ever wants to watch it.
It's a good movie.
Moana's getting.
No, none of us show up to your house and you go, "Who wants to watch Princess and the Frog?" We go, "Oh yeah, let's do it."
Well, I'm not gonna watch it by myself.
Yeah,
no one's gonna fucking watch it with you.
I'll watch it. I've never seen it. Moana's getting a series.
That's something I can get behind.
Is Tamara Morrison reprising his role
As Boba Fett.
I don't know.
Everyone remember that Moana is the movie that brought him back into the spotlight.
He's
I
also,
Shortly after he was in Aquaman.
yeah, I was gonna say Aquaman's dad.
I
I
haven't
forgot
seen
about- He was
Moana.
Moana's dad, Aquaman's dad,
Moana and Aquaman
Boba
are
Fett's
siblings.
dad.
And Boba Fett.
He's his own dad. This one looked pretty cool.
Like Calvin Klein in Back to the Future.
I don't know how to say it. Owaja?
Oh,
Iwaja?
the one from like the
It's
startup
Pan-African
company in
comic
Africa.
company.
Yeah. It almost looks like Wakanda. It was like three
Yeah.
guys from Africa came up with the idea and sold it to Disney.
Ooh, can we talk about real quick about this? Might already segue in, but real quick, can we talk about how Black Panther 2 is not getting rid of Chadwick Boseman, and they're also still calling the movie Black Panther 2
yeah.
when you're not going to be able to have the title character in the movie.
Speculation is that he's probably in the movie. It's going to start that he died or something.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some footage from other movies they could use, like they did with Leia and Rise of Skywalker.
Or maybe they'll do some bullshit like
But
that.
I mean, they have so many candidates, like Shuri, or maybe not because of her Twitter fiasco. But
Can
yeah.
we not?
M'Baku could become Black Panther. Everyone loves him.
Can we not do like Leia from Rise of Skywalker, where her lines are really wonky against everything everyone's saying?
It was
and
very-
It's
Very
just
right.
forced.
And-
If you have to force it, it's bad.
and when she's talking to Rey, she's looking like 3 feet above her head. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Carrie Fisher, may you rest in peace, but like they did you dirty.
Her lines
Yeah.
were originally with Chief Wicket. That's why she was looking up so high.
They did you dirty, Carrie.
Unfortunately, this one's gonna be pretty quick. Pixar, really the biggest thing is Lightyear.
Dude, I can't wait for Lightyear.
Chris Evans is
I'm just
voicing.
it's so odd to me.
Yeah.
Get rid of Tim Allen, plus. More Buzz Lightyear, double plus.
I don't know. It'd be weird.
Listen, Tim Allen pushed cocaine for pretty sure some cartel bosses. So Tim Allen's badass. Chris Evans, also badass.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give him a shot because it's a
Maybe
young Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Tim Allen's ego is so up there. He's doing a crossover with himself on whatever his new show is.
Last Man
Yeah,
Standing.
Home Improvement guy showing up on Last Man Standing.
No, you're kidding me.
The trailer's on YouTube. I'm not joking.
Holy shit.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
where's Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Where's that guy at?
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Well, that's something.
Please tell me it's shot like Back to the Future, where it's
Oh,
just
you
like composite.
You can tell they did the old, I'll stand over here, say these lines, and I'll come run back over here, change clothes, and say these lines.
Okay, so
That's amazing. That made my night, actually. Just knowing
The
that
biggest
is
news
in
of the night.
existence.
It's the Tim
Just
Allen
knowing that
multiverse.
is in existence just makes my day.
okay, so just so we're not here forever, because holy shit, Marvel. Secret Invasion with Nick Fury.
Yes, sir.
Sam Jackson
Um,
and Ben Mendelsohn.
Tired of these
Yeah.
motherfucking scrawls on this motherfucking MCU.
that's right. This one I think is pretty cool. Ironheart.
Oh yeah, Riri Williams. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's gonna be a good one.
That one got some like divided comments because no one likes her in the comic books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently her comic's been canceled like 4 times.
Oh,
Well, just get a good writer.
But you
Yeah.
got to keep that Tony Stark juice alive somehow.
that's right. Armor Wars is with Don Cheadle.
Why hasn't Bendis ever wrote like a Riri Williams comic? I feel like Bendis would really like
Yeah.
excel.
Speaking of Arm Wars, do you think Justin Hammer's coming back for that? Sam Rockwell?
Oh, I'd love
I
that.
think he is. For sure.
I guarantee you he is because you know he's not in prison.
I mean, if we'll get to it, but if Abomination can come back, Sam Rockwell can come back.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that actually would be the best place to bring Sam Rockwell back into.
I mean, I don't know any other place you could really.
Yeah.
Quickly, we'll lump these 3 together. WandaVision, Falcon, and Winter Soldier and Loki. We saw like
because
trailers.
those are the top 3 that everyone is.
Well, they're like right now. They're
Yeah.
coming.
Question
with the
about
next-
Loki. Y'all watched the trailer?
I
correct?
did not watch the trailer.
Oh.
I unfortunately didn't get a chance to
All
watch
right.
it before
Well,
coming.
You
Sean.
can say whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
get a chance to
I mean,
watch
this
it
isn't a
either.
spoiler. It's just a
I
question.
honestly don't.
In the trailer, you see a shot of a woman, and it looks very much like the Soul Realm.
Yeah.
You think it's
Yeah.
Black Widow?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's Lady Loki from the comic books, but I think it's Black Widow.
Yeah, it's.
I think they're kind of leaving it just to keep the debate going.
She's not dead.
They didn't announce
no way.
Black Widow on Disney Plus, did they?
No,
They
it's
said
staying in
theatrically
theater.
only.
Okay.
I mean, you think about it, like, all right, not to jump off topic, but just like quickly thinking about it, Gamora's in the Soul Stone.
Mhm.
Her original self is in the Soul Stone,
Yeah.
so obviously
Her
Black
current
Widow
timeline.
is in the Soul
Well,
Stone.
with Florence Pugh being confirmed for Hawkeye, I feel like they're kind of she's the new Black
Oh
Widow
yeah,
now.
they're passing the torch. They even said that in an article that
Yeah.
this is
Which I don't
she's
mind
going to
at
become
all.
the new Black Widow.
Mhm.
Scarlett Johansson as a kid, she's got to go raise
Yeah.
it somehow.
She got to be on Colin Joe's Saturday Night Live.
But one of my personal most anticipated ones, the What If.
I'm so excited for that.
It's gonna be so good.
The only complaint I have, just to be that guy on the podcast, is the trailer showed like nothing new. Like we've seen all that
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
before.
yeah.
I wanted them to reveal a new story that they're gonna
Wait,
do.
from what?
What if?
Oh, I didn't watch the What If.
Like we've seen all those stills before, like Captain Britain, Haley Atwell,
Who's that
T'Challa
first?
becoming Star Lord.
I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, we've seen a lot of that stuff, but I don't know. I'm still pretty excited.
I'm very excited.
Josh Brolin's coming back.
Yeah.
As Thanos.
Nice.
What if Thanos
Well, I think
actually
everybody's coming
saved
back.
the world?
I'm excited
maybe.
for Zombie Cap. That looks
Yeah.
cool.
That
Yeah,
one's pretty
yeah.
interesting.
Did you see that they were talking about like the what if Cap had become Punisher instead of Captain America?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, that
They did a what if thing in the comic books last year where
Spider-Man.
yeah,
become
Spider-Man.
Punisher.
That one was
Punisher.
good.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember Sean picked that up at comic book shop.
Peggy as Captain Britain.
With Iron Man riding on Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty excited for that one. This one's pretty cool too. I mean, I haven't beaten the Avengers game, but Miss Marvel was announced.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool to see a very much newer character.
Yeah.
You know, get some
And it's
attention.
gonna apparently lead right into Captain Marvel 2.
Wow.
Because she's gonna be.
Oh right,
starring
yeah,
in
because
that
she's
one.
gonna be in that one. Yeah.
I don't care about Captain Marvel or Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah. So
That
Captain
movie-
Marvel 2 is somewhere
That
in here.
movie completely turned me off of anything that had to do with Captain Marvel.
The only thing I like about that movie is Talos.
Yeah,
Love
that's about
Talos.
it.
He's my guy.
Ben Mendelsohn as
And I
Thanos.
like everything about the cat until the Nick Fury part.
Yeah.
I
That
have
was so dumb.
I haven't even seen it. Hawkeye is getting his own series. I think we knew that.
Yeah.
The
The more they announce about it, the more excited I get for that.
yeah, I mean, I like Hawkeye. So, She-Hulk, as we briefly mentioned, with Abomination returning
And the Hulk.
finally. Like, we knew he's out there somewhere.
Is it Edward Norton's Hulk though?
No, unfortunately not. They're not going that crazy in the multiverse of madness.
Moon Knight is getting a show. I don't have any notes here,
They
but
didn't confirm Oscar Isaac, which I found interesting.
But they haven't said anyone else is in talks.
Because they
Yeah.
confirmed Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk, but they didn't mention Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac also just got cast as
Solid Snake.
Solid Snake.
Yeah.
This one was weird, but very welcome because it'll be awesome. Guardians of the Galaxy getting a holiday special next year.
I'm excited for that, yeah. Can I shoot
Yeah, I'm
it?
sure it'll be good.
Yeah,
James Gunn shooting it
It's
while
being-
shooting Volume
yeah.
3.
it's being shot with that. I Am Groot is a series of short things.
Yeah.
Short.
Similar to like
Thanks.
the Pixar ones that they do for Forky and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. They gave the third Ant-Man a name. Quantum Mania.
Yes. And I got so excited when they said Catherine Newton's coming in as Cassie Lang. I love her. Might
Yeah.
have a little bit of a crush on her, but she's a good actress as well.
This one they didn't say much other than, hey, this is a thing. Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, John
Which
Watts.
we all knew.
I
that
mean,
was
yeah,
coming.
we knew it was coming, but it was pretty exciting to see.
Anyone who was legitimately surprised, I feel bad for you.
I mean, I wasn't surprised.
No. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
anyone who was like, "Oh my god, they're actually doing Fantastic Four," I'd be like, "Yeah."
I mean, actually,
Seek psychiatric help.
honestly, wasn't
If you were
expecting them.
legitimately surprised.
I mean, I didn't expect them to
Yeah,
actually
I
talk
wasn't
about
expecting an announcement here.
No.
But then when
no.
Feige was like, "into end of the show," I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh."
But you knew that it was coming.
Oh yeah.
Like within the next year.
I was
they were gonna
actually
announce it,
kind
at
of
least.
surprised they're doing it before X-Men because with
Yeah.
Deadpool 3 getting announced, I thought they were about to jump in the X-Men.
Oh yeah,
pool.
did you see where Deadpool's supposed to be taking over Stan Lee's cameos and everything?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they
I
did
thought
that
that
in
was
the.
still just a theory.
I don't know.
They
I
did-
thought that's what.
They did that one Lego like Avengers games. They started doing Deadpool cameos and them.
Right. Yeah. Where was I? We already talked about Black Widow staying in the theaters.
Who cares?
Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings.
Listen, as long as Fin Fang Foom shows up,
Oh, I think you will.
I'm-
I think we're getting some Fang food.
I want some Fin
and then
Fang
I'll show up
Foom.
again in Fantastic Four.
I want it. Give it to me.
They talked more about Eternals, but that's never coming.
Got that great cast
Who
for
cares?
no reason. Other than Kumail Nanjiani being complete dad.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
there for
it's-
Angelina Jolie.
He's very
Yes, or
strange.
Salma Hayek.
It's the only one I can remember.
Everybody just got ripped to play CGI characters for some reason.
I don't remember if they did anything with. What did they do with Doctor Strange in the?
They announced America Chavez, aka
Oh.
the Captain America from the future.
Okay.
Which does anyone else think we're getting a Young Avengers show or movie like real
Oh,
soon?
yeah.
With Kate Bishop, America Chavez.
The West Coast Avengers. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Rumor
Yeah.
has it that Wiccan and Hulking are going to be in WandaVision.
They talked more on Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't remember.
Christian Bale got announced.
Oh,
as
right.
Gore
As
the
the
God
God
Butcher.
Killer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Lady Sif is returning.
Yeah.
Thor 4 as well. Probably to be killed by Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah, probably.
We briefly
One
talked
will
about
know.
Black Panther 2 not recasting whatever his name is, because I've never seen that movie either.
Oh, that should be one you guys talk about on the podcast.
This is why Shane's here, because I have the memory of fucking whatever has a bad memory. Blade.
I mean, Blade, you're not really forgetting anything.
Okay.
All they announced was that it will come out in 2022. They didn't announce any directors or casting updates, just that Ollie's Blade, pretty much confirming that and whatnot.
So they're like, hey, let's reiterate. That's the thing.
And they were like, remember this that we haven't talked about in a year? It's still going on.
Still a thing.
Boss Logic predicted it.
Captain Marvel 2, like,
Don't
whatever.
care.
And then they talked about Guardians 3, which I think was tied in with the holiday special.
Yeah.
Another real reason I wanted to talk about all this anyway. LucasArts. Let's get the two that nobody cares about. Well, and maybe that's a personal thing. Willow and Indiana Jones.
Oh, Indiana Jones, I disagree. But Willow, I don't care.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
I would
Because
only
who
want it.
cares?
I will only care about Indiana Jones if Shia LaBeouf is still involved in
What?
any way.
Then we get a Mutt
He
Disney
won't be.
Plus show.
Yeah,
He won't be.
I know he won't be, but
Yeah.
I wish
want
he
the
was.
I want the return of Short Round.
Oh no.
That'd be amazing. That might actually reel me back in.
They're all about the IP. Get a Short Round spinoff.
Listen. There is absolutely. I am a huge Indiana Jones fan. I love Indiana Jones. The series wrapped in 2008 with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with
What's-
a big bow, and it was done.
What was that? What's that movie?
Yeah. Yeah, no. We want to forget about it, but they wrapped the entire series up with a bow. It's done. It's shipped out. That somebody unwrapped it and was disappointed. Okay? Listen. There is no Indiana Jones 5. It does not need to exist. There's no fucking reason this movie should exist.
The only reason I'm excited is I'll watch James Mangold direct a newspaper.
No.
I'm
Like,
beyond
I
excited.
love James Mangold. I love Harrison Ford. I don't think this movie needs to exist at all. There's no reason for this movie to
I mean, you're not wrong, but selfishly, I want it.
I don't want it. I'll go see it or watch it on Disney Plus. I have absolutely no interest in it being a thing. I feel like the series wrapped and it was done. It could have wrapped. Honestly, it could have wrapped in The Last Crusade. Them riding off into the sunset, and it's just like, okay, they all get old, whatever. Who cares?
They all get old. That's the last Indiana Jones adventure. He
That-
stopped being an archaeologist.
That would have been fine if that was done. Dude, he found the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail. I mean, what else is there left to do?
Atlantis.
That's the game.
There it is. I don't have a dog in that fight because, as many of you know, I've never seen Indiana Jones.
Blasphemy.
Tied into Shane never seeing Terminator until now.
Throw me under the bus.
Yeah. Take the heat off me.
No, we're gonna throw you under the Mack truck. The Mack tanker truck.
Burn my eyebrows off.
I'll watch those eventually. I don't know. This one I don't care. Lando.
Oh,
I don't care.
Yeah.
it depends on which Lando we're getting.
Is it starring
True.
Ezra Bridger?
They didn't announce anything.
Going by the name of Lando Calrissian
That'd
the
be fun.
entire time?
Oh, and Lando.
Going back to Indiana Jones, I think it'll be probably like Billy D. Williams talking, and then like it'll like flashback to Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. Yeah. That's what a lot of people are theorizing.
Yeah.
That's what it's
And
going
then
to
we'll get his weird sexual tension with the robot.
Oh, great.
Maybe that's for. Is Jana bored of Robot? Is it like Blade Runner?
I don't know.
Anna de Armas.
I mean, as people are fans of Mandalorian, we knew this was coming. Ahsoka gets her own show.
Here we thought Boba Fett was going to get his own show, but it turns out it's the
How
same.
wrong were we?
Well, the next one could possibly be with Boba Fett. He could fit in. Rangers of the New Republic. I don't know why he'd be with the New Republic, but
No, Tamara Morrison has been cast though in Kenobi.
oh yeah, as
Boba Fett or Rex or Cody or any one of the clones.
they're saying Cody.
I mean, I think hot take. I think Boba Fett's gonna die sooner than later.
Oh, people have been saying that they're like, oh, Boba's probably gonna die before the end of this season.
Oh, I don't
or
know
something
about the
like
end of the
that.
season, seeing as we have one episode, but I think maybe season 3.
Yeah,
Maybe Thrawn comes in and has to prove his bad guyness, takes out Boba.
We were talking about it. Well, we'll talk about it when we get to the
yeah. Not much to say on Rangers. We don't know nothing about it. The Acolyte. On the other hand, Acolyte.
Yeah, I thought you said the Alkalite.
No, the Acolyte.
Oh,
The Alka-Seltzer.
I'm sorry, I thought you said the Alkalite.
I mean, I mispronounce things all the time, so I ain't gonna argue. But I don't know.
Shut up.
Honestly, think that one might be the one I'm most excited for.
Yeah, just on paper, it takes place at the end of the High Republic, and it's going to focus on the
Dark
Sith.
side.
Yeah,
Well, I think it's gonna focus on Darth Plagueis.
yeah, we're probably going to get that finally.
We're gonna finally learn the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Oh, yeah, was that funny to you? Or...
Are you done?
What are you talking
Let's
about?
keep moving on.
We got the Bad Batch. Yeah.
Excuse me?
I actually feel the same. I'm rather on a Bad
What?
Batch show.
Am I the only one here who's actually excited about the Bad Batch? I didn't give one solitary fuck about them in Clone Wars. When I saw the trailer for the Bad Batch, I was like, yeah, I'm on board.
I mean, I'll give it a shot, but I've only seen like 5 episodes of Clone Wars, and
They just show up in the last season.
yeah. So I mean, that's why I don't have a tie to it. I'm not bad mouthing it. I don't have a.
Oh, I don't even have like a strong tie to it. It's
Yeah.
just watching the trailer. I was like, oh.
I mean, it
okay.
looked
I was
cool,
like,
but-
this looks good.
Yeah, I like the trailer, but it's probably one of the shows that I like. I'll watch it, but I just don't care.
I mean, I could be more invested once it actually comes out for sure.
I hope it's them hunting down Jedi.
Yeah.
That would get me invested.
see what happens to Quinlan Voss.
Yeah.
What if they don't?
I'll still watch it, but
This one sounds pretty cool. Kind of, Sean, I would think maybe is maybe most excited. Star Wars Visions. It's gonna be in like Japanese style art. And I don't know. I guess it's like mini stories. I don't.
Very kawaii. Right
Yeah.
up your alley.
Okay.
I think it's kind of cool because they started doing like the books
Mm.
as mangas. Like there's a Lost Stars manga
Oh, okay.
and all that stuff. So they're dipping their feet into the
Anime.
animation world.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm pretty excited for it.
Dave Filoni, he worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and he even said
Right.
he's like it's very anime. So I don't know if he'll be illustrating anything, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's certainly familiar with the
Yeah.
process.
This one, I don't care a lot, but I watched the trailer. I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. And that's the Cassian Andor.
Yeah, I don't
Sure.
know about that.
Yeah, that's another one where I just.
I mean, I'm
I'll
not like
watch it.
I'm not like excited, but I'm like,
Listen,
I
I'll
think
I'll consume any content that they push in front of me.
right.
Doesn't mean I'll like
even
it.
Star Wars Resistance.
Yes.
Gross.
No, I'm sorry, I don't watch that.
I mean, if
garbage.
they were gonna do a spin-off of Rogue One, why would you not do it on Chirrut and Baze,
Yeah.
Guardian
Yeah.
of the Wills?
because those are two characters I would actually enjoy watching.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the
Like-
ship has sailed on Cassian.
Like
Shit.
no
No
dissing
one
on
cares. No one cares about Cassian.
no dissing on
First
Diego
off-
Luna, but who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Cassian's just a dick in the movie anyway until
Yeah.
the very end.
Right.
Why would I give a shit
Like-
about his character in a
And
show?
Rogue One's my favorite of the new Star Wars movies, and I don't give a shit about the show.
No, I do not care about Cassian at all. Cassian was just fodder.
Like I'd rather see a K2SO show than a
I'd love to
Cassian.
watch
Oh
a
yeah.
K2.
Speaking of droids,
The biggest joke of the night.
I thought that it was a joke. I thought
Really?
I literally
No.
thought I was like, haha, that's funny, and then I clicked it and I was like, oh
Yeah,
it's
isn't
real.
that like the most ridiculous thing ever?
I don't even know what the concept is. Other
It's
than
them helping along a new droid, which I think would be Dio, since he's the new guy in the group. But who knows?
oh, okay.
Just
Well,
a whole lot of no, thank you.
yeah. That's a lot of whatever. The
Is it like a Pixar like?
Yeah, it's an
before the
animated thing. I
movie?
think it's animated.
yeah, it's animated, I believe. This one, when they announced it, I'm like, all right. But then I tagged you guys on Twitter with the Patty Jenkins announcement, and my God, I have goosebumps now because I mentioned it. But
I didn't watch
Rogue-
it with the audio.
really?
Sean had to like
Oh
give me
my
the
God.
clip notes for it.
Oh,
I
man.
think this is the most exciting thing
Oh,
of
yeah.
the night that
Yeah.
they announced. Like it, I think it'll be really awesome.
yeah. So anyway, Patty Jenkins is directing Rogue Squadron, and she, for many years, has been searching for an outlet to make a fighter pilot movie, and now she has found the right one.
Yeah.
For
I-
lack of
Just got done reading the newest Star Wars book about the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, and like 3 different stories are about the Rogue Squadron and how they get formed and stuff.
yeah.
So I feel like that was a little like,
I
gotta tell people who these people
Did
are
they-
before
I,
we
I
announce the
played the
movie.
game.
Yeah.
Game's a lot of fun.
Oh, I have to go back. I still haven't.
You
played
think
it.
you think Jenkins took her HBO Max money and was like going to the mouse house?
Hey, thanks for the millions. I'm gonna use it to fund my Rogue Squadron
Going to play with my
project.
Star Wars toys now. And do you think Gal Gadot is going to be in the movie?
Oh my God.
So like best
Wait.
pals.
Wait until like they make the memes where it's like Andy playing with Woody, and it's Gal Gadot and it's Patty Jenkins like, oh, I don't want to play with you anymore. She moves on to Star Wars.
So yeah, that one's got me pretty excited. And the cream of the crop, maybe
The cream of the crop.
rising to the top. Yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, the biggest thing we got was that Hayden's coming back. And then after that, we got Ewan McGregor he went to Twitter and was like, so, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are gonna have like one final showdown in the series. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, wah!
I told this to Aaron. I don't like the idea of that because
Oh, it's canon breaking.
because in A New Hope,
Yeah.
Vader says, "This isn't a present I felt, or this It's a
presence I haven't felt in a
felt
long time.
Yeah, since, and then he trails off, and
Yeah.
you know, I take that.
I mean,
to
it's
mean,
open ended, but
Yeah, I take that to mean their battle on Mustafar,
Right.
not some other. Because like he would know if Obi-Wan was alive or dead if they clashed and he didn't kill him.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. Because if that was the last time he saw him, he doesn't know if he's dead.
Well, at the end
Yeah.
of the Revenge of the Sith, he knows Obi's alive. So maybe that explains why, like, just like 14 years later, Obi-Wan's like kind of garbage with a lightsaber. So maybe Darth Vader kicks his ass and like breaks his body down, and that's why he thinks Obi-Wan's dead.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
That'd be cool.
Well, and like I said to Sean, when he's talking to Tarkin, and Tarkin goes, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he says, yes, the last time I felt it was in the presence of my old master. And it's like, okay, well, that's definitely not hinting at Mustafar. Like, that just means you had a brush with him at some other point within the last 19 years.
yeah, they don't specifically say Mustafar. but-
Yeah. And no, I think that theory could be very relevant, that he like kicks Obi-Wan's ass
Yeah.
and thinks he's vanquished, only to realize, oh shit, he's not dead. Like,
Yeah.
he's back. Like,
Right.
okay.
Any of you guys read the Darth Vader comic books?
I read a little bit of them.
Well, right now they're doing a storyline where like, he's like, he finds out that like Palpatine lied and wasn't completely honest about Padme dying,
What?
and like went and found
Yeah.
like the handmaidens and stuff, and then like he's thinking, he's like, maybe I should go track down my old master. And then when like Palpatine finds out, he like tortures Darth Vader into like listening to him. So maybe Vader was like, before was like, maybe I should go find Obi-Wan.
Maybe.
And then Palpatine's like, I don't think so.
Think
No,
again.
Don't do that.
Whips him with some force lightning. Get back in command, Vader.
But I think they said that he's going to be in the armor, but I think we're going to get some like flashbacks.
They're not getting Hayden just to be in the, and they're not going to use
Yeah.
his voice. They're going to get like someone that.
Well, I think
sounds
they
like
confirmed James Earl Jones
No,
coming
no,
back.
they'll bring James Earl Jones back.
See, I actually don't like that because he doesn't sound like Darth Vader anymore.
That's
no,
true.
No, he does. Rogue One botched it.
Like-
Rogue One actually botched Vader's
Yeah, he didn't
voice.
sound very good now.
He did not. They did something where they modulated it and it sounded awful.
Yeah.
Because I have thought for years now that Vader's voice, like, he sounds like he's literally gargling on marbles. And I'm like, that does not sound like Vader.
Yeah.
But like, you watch Rebels and you're like, okay, that's Vader. Why does it sound so fucking weird? Because this was only done like a year apart from each other.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's weird.
Um, I feel like this show kind of became Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Like, I think it's going to show both of them on their journey to each other, and then it's going to end with like their final show.
So this has to be one season.
I think they confirmed that in
Miniseries,
6
yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
A mini series.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the episodes are longer than Mando's 30-minute episodes.
That's, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, you almost need hour-long episodes.
And
for-
another interesting tidbit to jump back, they said Cassian Andor is going to be 2 seasons of 12 episodes.
That's way too much.
Exactly.
Who
That's
gives
what
a
I'm saying.
shit?
Yeah.
Like, Mando doesn't even get that much, and he's like the main guy.
Yeah.
I don't care about Cassian.
So I'm
Yeah.
curious if it's going to be
I
called
don't.
Andor, and then they're just going to be like, so no one cares about him. Let's do some other stuff in this time.
He dies. No. So yeah, that's that was all the crazy announcements for anybody that didn't watch it and didn't know.
Speaking of the length of the Mandalorian episodes, let's talk about that.
Yeah. We got 2 good ones to talk about, really. Not that
we
there's been a
really?
bet. What?
We can
Yeah.
just talk about the first one briefly, and then cover.
Yeah,
it
yeah. I mean,
in-depthly,
not a lot happened.
more in depth. Yeah, it was basically just
It was badass, but nothing happened.
Grogu on the Seeing Stone for the whole episode, and then getting
Yeah.
captured.
My prediction didn't come true, and I'm very sad.
The Grogu dies.
No, that he's sitting there, force calling and hello there. I really wanted that to happen.
Yeah, I think that episode will have bigger meaning in the future. But as of right now, it's just like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody's got to show up or respond to it.
So somebody tweeted at this one actor, I forget what his name is, Rahul Khalil or something like that is his name.
Yes.
And people were like, oh, they're like, when is he going to play Ezra Bridger? Because he looks like
Yeah, he's
he
in
could
a
play
haunting
Ezra
of
Bridger.
Bly Manor, and he looks just like Ezra.
So somebody tweeted at him about that. He retweeted it with the quote, on the 5th day at first light, look to the east. And everyone's like, 5th day, first light. They're like, Friday. Friday's the season finale. They're like, oh my fucking god, he's gonna play Ezra Bridger. So like everyone's freaking out that he's gonna play Ezra Bridger and show up.
I think he is going to play Ezra, but I think it's going to be in the Ahsoka show. I don't know if he's going to show up in Mando.
What if he could show? Well, he could show up and then play a bigger part in the Ahsoka.
One thing I don't like, I said this to Shawn a few days ago. With it, I don't think it's going to be Luke Skywalker, but it kind of makes him look weak again. With the most powerful Jedi doesn't sense someone on a Force rock.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Well, like,
I don't even know how they would do that.
Like in this timeline, from like the comics and stuff, we know he's out looking for Jedi and Jedi artifacts. So
here's my whole thing: is this season is gonna end one of two ways. They're gonna meet the Jedi, and the Jedi's gonna be like, "I can teach him," and then at the end of the episode, they're gonna be like, "No, I can't teach him." You gotta you gotta take him to this place, and the Mando's gonna be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Or it's gonna be Mando having a tearful like goodbye with Grogu as he gives him.
I think the Jedi is gonna want to train him, but Grogu's gonna be like, "I'm good.
I want to be a Mandalorian,"
because we know he's not a Jedi in like the sequel trilogy. So I think he's just gonna be like, "I want to stay with Dad over here. Get out of here, old man."
Unless he gets killed by Kylo Ren.
That's what I keep saying, and everyone says, no, that's too tragic of an ending. What if Mando ends with Kylo Ren murdering?
Tragic of an ending? Has anybody ever watched Revenge of the Sith?
Yes.
Oh my god. What if we see Kylo Ren?
Doubtful.
I know.
Big doubt.
I know.
Luke sends Ben Solo instead because he's too busy training other Jedi.
Well, that would be fine.
Or do they get to play
but that's not happened yet.
Young Adam Driver.
Yeah,
Timothy Chalamet.
We'd have to advance like a good 15, 20 years for that to happen.
Well, Ben would be like 5.
That's what I'm saying. We'd have to advance because we're already what are we?
Mando's in a fucking nursing home.
6 years
holding
after
Grogu.
6 years.
Mando's in like a nursing home, like holding Grogu, and somebody comes in, they're like, "Can I take your child for you?" And he's like, like and hands him off, like take him.
Well, he'd still probably be a baby at that point.
You can outlive me. Oh yeah, he wouldn't.
I mean, if he's 50 now and he's still a baby, like it's crazy.
Yeah, the whole aging is weird.
Yeah, I know in the High Republic stuff coming out, actual Yoda, is 300 and he just became like a full.
So we're probably gonna see him in.
You could see him in the Acolyte.
Acolyte, yeah.
You could.
The Alkalite.
The alcoholic. It's just that guy with Ponda Baba in the bar.
So we haven't really said much about this damn episode.
Yeah, basically just Boba Fett comes and he has
Rex fucking shop.
Yeah, he has a standoff with the Mandalorian for a little bit, and then they team up and they kill a shit ton of.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds, Boba has a standoff with him, and then he's like, let's talk, and then they start talking, and he's like, okay,
yeah.
He's like, well, and then the stormtroopers show up, and he's like, well, I'm gonna kill these guys.
Yeah.
Then he gets his armor back from the Razor Crest before the Razor Crest is tragically blown to smithereens.
Yeah, I guess that's the tragedy.
That is the tragedy. And Boba Fett gets his armor back, comes back in badass fucking fashion, kills a shit ton of stormtroopers, and then blows up both their transports.
Yeah.
And then when Mando is like, okay, I'll see you guys later, after Grogu gets captured, Boba's like, whoa. He's like, our deal's not done. And he's like, what do you mean? I gave you your armor. And he's like, no, I'm going to help you get the child back because that was my part of the deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Boba's a man of his word. All right. I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where the episode ends.
And Ming-Na Wen came back, which was nice.
Yeah.
After her guts were ripped apart.
Yeah. The episode ends with him going to talk to Cara Dune to spring Migs Mayfield from some New Republic prison to get the coordinates of Moff Gideon's transport ship. And that leads us into the next episode, which was fucking amazing.
Yes, it was.
That was a really good episode.
Like, that episode was so good.
I can't get out of my head the droid security guard because he keeps repeating the fucking number.
Yeah, his identification number.
I
Yeah,
don't even remember what the number was.
I can't remember either.
3667 or something like that.
It was the first episode in a while that wasn't like, oh, Ahsoka, oh, Boba Fett. It was just like
I-
Mandalorian.
I
It was
said that to
awesome.
Sean. I was like, it was the first episode
This is the first
in
episode.
a string of episodes that wasn't just fan service. Like, remember this? Like,
Yeah.
being just shoved into your mouth.
Remember?
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was good. Like, the fan service is good in the show.
Yeah,
But I feel like the last 2 episodes were really like, eat all of this Ahsoka content and Boba content. Remember Thrawn? And then this episode like dialed it all back and
Yeah.
like, hey, let's stick to the smaller universe stuff. Like we were able to get our backdoor pilots across with these last 2. How about let's reel it back and just tell this story?
And
Yeah.
this was the first ever episode not to show any Grogu.
That's
At
true.
all.
That's right.
At
Yeah, there was
all.
no Grogu at all.
And no
I
one
thought for
even
sure.
noticed.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, people noticed. Not complaining. They're not complaining.
Bill Burr's the new loving, adorable character on the show.
Last week when they, when Cara Dune, saw her look him up, I was like, but like now it's like, holy shit, it was awesome.
I was beyond excited whenever they brought him back up. I was like, oh yes, he's coming back. Like, this is going to be great.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of people dumping on his acting in the first season when he showed up. He was really good in this.
Oh,
film.
yeah,
my
he was
God.
amazing.
He was fine in the first season.
Yeah, I thought the only complaint I saw was, why does he have a Boston accent? But it's fine when all the Empire dudes talk like they're
Space
British royalty.
Boston.
Yeah, exactly.
And we see...
Well, except for the captain in this episode, because he talks like he's from like Alabama.
Drew's like, hey, Mando.
Yeah. Let's go have a drink, shall we?
Looks like he has a Chewbacca chew, and he's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
And
God.
he's like, let's go get some blue milk, boys.
and we get to
Brown
see
eyes.
Pedro's face and mustache in this episode.
Yeah.
Takes the helmet off.
Without blood, all
Without
over it.
blood.
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked him having his helmet off.
Yeah, I think Boba Fett has the line of the episode when they're debating on who can go into the Empire's building, and he's like, "Let's just say they're gonna recognize my face."
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that line a lot.
So, does that mean that there's really no troopers left that look like him?
No. They dispatched all the clones when Kamino was
Unless,
dispatching anti-stormtrooper clones.
Unless Rex is still kicking out there somewhere.
He is.
No,
So-
yeah, but
I mean, he's
there,
in Return of the
but
Jedi.
in the Empire and the
Yeah.
remnants of the Empire, there are no clones.
Wait, Rex is in Return of the Jedi?
He's at the Battle of Endor.
Endor. He's the bearded guy.
Did you notice that the Mandalorian, when he sends the message to Gideon, it's the same message Gideon sent to him at the end of the 1st season?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, same dialogue. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that because of the previously on Mandalorian.
I quit
Moff
watching
Gideon
that.
did his whole.
Yeah.
Moff Gideon did that whole. Speech.
Yeah, they're starting to,
We skipped that.
to
shit.
spoil too much shit
Yeah.
now.
That was like the shit's about to get real speech.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it because you get like a sense that Migs Mayfield is just like, he's just trying to survive. He even says that to the Mandalorian. He's like, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to survive just like you. And when shit hits the fan, people do what they gotta do to survive.
Right.
And then that's exactly what happens when the Mando takes his helmet off. And he's about to get found out, and he just walks up and starts talking Imperial jargon to try and get him out of it. And the Mandalorian looks fucking pissed that Migs sees his face.
Yeah.
He's just like, you motherfucker.
The way Pascal acted the whole scene, like you could really see the nervousness on his face. Like he was super uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, and especially when Migs is talking to what was the guy's name? It started with a V.
Yeah.
But he's talking to the guy, and he's just like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "You mean like during Operation Cinder, where an entire city of 10,000 people was just blown to smithereens?" And like Mando's like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we need to get out of here. Like, don't fuck this up." And he's just like, "Yeah." And the guy's like, "What are you getting at, man?" And he's like, "Oh, you know."
Yeah, I thought that was cool that they dropped Operation Cinder because one of the books last year was all about that and how their
Battlefront 2 was all
Hera
about it.
Syndulla was there trying to stop it from happening and all this cool stuff.
In Battlefront 2. That was
That's
the
true.
main storyline of Battlefront
Also,
2 was
do you think
Operation Cinder.
A lot of Burr's dialogue was like just him riffing, like when he says, "Come on over here, brown eyes." Like I feel
Well,
like
maybe, yeah.
in Pedro's face, you can see him like.
Yeah, that's very true.
When he
It could've
drops
been
that-
him ad-libbing.
He drops that line when he's trying to get away from the general. He's like, "Let's go file those whatever papers."
Yeah.
That was a reference to a show that he was in or something. I don't fucking remember what show somebody was saying, but apparently it was a very deep cut, and
Oh yeah.
it had to be him
For
ad-libbing.
Pedro or Bill?
For Bill.
Oh, okay.
I love how they escaped out of the window like an old style action movie.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
just bust out this window.
Yeah, that was so great because like he's basically they've transported these explosives and they're like, oh yeah, Operation Cinder, an entire city gone in seconds, and it's like with the stuff you brought us, it's going to be even like we can have more destruction tenfold than what happened in Operation Cinder.
Yeah.
And his face was just like,
Oh yeah. Like when Bill Burr, like he's sitting there and he's like shaking like while they're talking, and you can see his eyes like start to like well up a little bit because like he's getting emotional. And then I just fucking love because the dude just raises his glass and he goes to the Empire and he just pulls out his SE-14 and just blasts him in the chest. I was like, I knew it was coming, but I thought he was gonna be discreet about it, like Han.
Yeah.
And I thought we were gonna see like a shot of him like just unholstering it and shooting under the table and killing him.
Like shot for shot.
Yeah,
Almost.
but instead he was just like bam and just like blast him right across the table. And then that poor shore trooper who just wanted to eat his lunch gets blasted. She's just like boom and then kills him.
oh, by the way, he was like Bill Burr was convincing in an action scene too.
Oh yeah.
No,
which,
yeah.
which I was like, maybe not just because look at him, but he literally looked like a badass. He was like hitting all
Oh,
these
it was great.
like moves and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
No, Bill Burr hit his stride like by showing off his true acting chops in this episode.
Maybe he
He
should be
was-
in Rangers of the.
Oh, I think.
Dude,
you're
I
right.
would watch it if he was in it. Like I would totally watch that. I mean, I'm
Never
gonna
know.
watch it anyway. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's Star Wars content.
Oh yeah, I also so they escape. Boba comes and picks them up in Slave One, and they're like, okay,
Whoa, hold up. Let's talk about that for a second. Boba picks them up and then gets trailed by 2 TIE fighters. And then he does the most badass thing.
I was gonna say this first because this happens first,
Oh, I thought
but
you were jumping ahead.
no, because Migs is like, hand me that rifle,
Oh,
and then he's just like, Mando's just like, okay, whatever, and then he blows up the explosives and demolishes the Imperial
Yeah, because
base.
the top hatch on the vehicle was still open from the pirates
raid,
or
yeah.
whatever.
So he sharpshoots it,
Yeah.
blows it up, and takes the whole refinery out with it. Then they get trailed by 2 TIE fighters. And then Boba Fett does the thing that I'm sure 90% of the fandom was calling as they were getting trailed. And
Never
he goes
crossed my mind.
skyward. Really? It never crossed your
It
mind?
didn't. I completely forgot about them.
Ask Shawn. I was sitting there and I was like, drop a seismic charge. And it opens. And then I was like, yes! And then it just drops out and it just goes bang! It just blows them up.
So there's this guy on YouTube. He takes everybody's like reactions and like compiles them into like a reaction based video. And there was like only 2 or 3 channels that like called it. And I'm like, I don't feel as bad now.
Oh, I was like sitting there and I was like, you're being trailed by 2 fighters. You're going straight up. I was like, what's the optimal thing to do? Drop a seismic charge. Because it's just going to go right back and just bam, and just blow them up.
See, I barely watched episode 2. And
Oh, that's like the best part of episode 2.
well, I know, but like I barely watch it. So
But the rest of episode 2.
Until the clones show up on Geonosis, there's nothing engaging.
Yeah, all of Obi-Wan stuff is good, and
Yeah.
everything else is
Detective
awful.
Obi-Wan.
The first 2 hours of Attack of the Clones look a lot like the inside of my eyelids.
The first 2 hours of Attack of the Clones with Obi-Wan's detective work is better than 2.5 hours of Blade Runner.
And don't forget Hayden Christensen's stellar haircut in Attack of the Clones.
And Obi-Wan's as well.
Yeah, his mullet.
Yeah.
But
Jesus, Obi-Wan.
speaking of appearances, Boba Fett's armor is looking slick as fuck. I said that to
Repainted.
Aaron like probably 5 times. Like we were watching it, I was like, every time he just got on screen, I was like, that just looks so good.
Did you notice, like, did I show you and Josh the print that I'm working
Yeah.
on with Boba? Where it's him standing like this, like at the base of Slave One, because that's like the best shot of like where we see him. We're like, oh damn, like he cleaned that armor up.
Cleaned it up, got it resized. He's not busting out of it
Yeah.
anymore.
not Boba Fett anymore.
Dad bod Boba.
But yeah, we alluded to it a little bit. The Mandalorian sends a transmission to Moff Gideon, basically saying, "Prepare your ship, boy, because I'm coming in."
Message approved by Qui-Gon
Yeah, I saw
in the
someone,
Taken movie.
someone played that scene, and then when it popped, it was late, and he said, "I have a special set of skills."
Yeah, but it's been a really good season, with the exception of episode 2 this season.
They hate episodes.
What happened in episode
The
2?
spiders.
The spiders, like the Lothal
I
spiders.
love that episode.
I don't hate it, but it was kind of a
okay.
filler.
It's
Definitely.
I do take my statement back last episode where I was like, yeah, it was one of my favorites. All right, it might have been the bottom of this season, but
it's dead last for me.
Yeah.
but I still love it anyway.
And to throw it back before we shut up and leave you guys alone, we were talking about Ezra earlier, and in the Ahsoka episode, you can see a Lothcat running around.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
always shows up when Ezra's about to.
There's a
Show up and
Lothcat
do some
in
stuff.
there's a Lothcat in the first season when he meets Cara Dune.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
they're teasing it because right before Ahsoka shows up, you see the owl in the tree that's always there right before she
Well,
shows
we
up.
were talking about it yesterday,
I ain't
and
got any of that.
I had said about that that whole thing with the guy Ezra, like tweeting that thing on the 5th day at dawn, look to the east, and Shawn brought it up that Katie Sackhoff had said, "Is it Friday yet?" in a tweet, like
Oh yeah, that's
alluding that her episode was coming up. And I'm wondering if this guy isn't doing the same thing, but nobody announced anything for it. So he just gave this real vague thing, like, maybe some people will catch on to this.
either that or he's like, haha, they saw it work for Katie and they'll think it's gonna be me too.
He's like, ha,
He's
ha.
just trying to get clout.
He's like, haha, I'm actually announced for the Lord of the Rings TV show because that's what the quote is from. That's Gandalf talking to
Yeah, it is
saying he's gonna bring reinforcements to Rohirrim.
Although
At
the only
Helm's
thing
Deep.
I will be sad if he plays Ezra, he's got one hell of a mustache, and Ezra doesn't have a sick mustache.
No, but no, it was a
They'll
picture.
CGI it out.
No. It was a picture of him on his Twitter. He had a beard, like a full beard. So people were like, "Oh, is he gonna?"
They shaved
he
his
should
mustache
play
off and
Ezra.
put it on Pedro.
Like,
Why does he
like
keep a
fucking
mustache when
jackass?
nobody's gonna see it?
Well, also, how's he shaved when he's not allowed to take his helmet off?
He can take it off
No,
by himself.
yeah, he does take it off because we saw in the episode where they battle the ATST, he does take it off and like set it on the railing, but nobody can see it. Which clearly people could see him. He's standing 10 yards away from like a playground.
That's just
Of
because he was
course they
trying to
can see
lure
it.
that single mom into the hut there. He's like, come on
Yeah,
in.
he took off his helmet and he just turns out to look like the dude in Rick and Morty episode where he just like takes it off and he's just that dude. He's like, hey, and she's like, ooh, no.
He did his own hello there.
How you doing?
Well, yeah, that was quite a bit of news for us. And
News.
we got into Mandalorian, and we also had a recommendation this week,
Yes, we did.
which I've been very excited to talk about. It was recommended by me.
We had a recommendation?
Yes.
No, I thought we were just
Grogu
talking about.
recommended it.
I thought we were just talking about Mandalorian and
From
Disney this
himself,
episode.
idiot.
I forgot we even had a recommendation. What did we watch before this?
So there's some reasoning behind why I recommended this film this week. It's because when this episode is published, it will be published on the first day of winter. And it is a tradition for myself and Aaron to watch this film every winter because, as we have watched in the film, after their first attack, McCready says the first goddamn week of winter. So that's when the
So it
film
has
takes
been
place.
tradition
So
to watch this.
it's been a long-standing tradition for us to watch it, and yeah. So Mike has never seen it.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Shane had never seen it either. I don't think.
one of my favorites.
All right.
As well. In my top 10, Sean and I have talked about this. If we were to go through our top 10 favorite movies, not in any specific order.
Yeah.
But I have said, if anybody asks me my top 10 favorite movies, the first movie that comes to mind that I know I want in the top 10 is The Thing.
Yeah. Same for me as well.
It just pops in there, and I'm like, yeah, The Thing is definitely in there.
So I'll hit the synopsis here. Research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of his victims. That's pretty much all we really need to know, because it pretty much gets straight into it. So I know how I feel about it, and I know how Eric feels about it. So I'd like to know how you guys feel about the movie.
We're going to take a back seat this time.
I mean, you guys are going to probably go way more in depth than I will ever remember, because, as everybody knows, I am shitty at remembering stuff. I think I remember most of this, though.
Was it the JMB? did the ceremonial JMB scotch
the
erase
two,
some of your memory?
the two very, very small sips that I took
I know
did me
your
in.
full glass is still sitting over there.
Anyway, some of that's ice. I really enjoyed it. I feel like, I mean, he was in a lot of the movie, but Kurt Russell didn't say much, did he? Like, he doesn't have a ton of dialogue. Like,
no.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it's the first half of the movie, more specifically.
But he carries the movie.
He does.
Like you realize that he's the main character.
Yeah.
Like, and
it took me a while to realize that he even was the main character.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this movie, is like, there are a lot of main characters, but you know that Kurt Russell is that McCready is the focal point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's the leader. He's the guy who's going to take charge in this situation, regardless of everyone else, which is something that's unique, because you only have like six or seven main characters in this movie. Mm-hmm. But somehow, like, John Carpenter does a great way of illustrating that McCready is the go-to guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I knew this had something to do with some alien life form. But, like, I don't know. The whole beginning thing where we see the dog and it, we finally see the thing, or a form of the thing. I didn't see that coming at all.
That's always a nice
I was sitting there, I don't think I said it out loud, but I'm like, why the fuck is this dog looking at the wall? Like, the whole time. I'm like, what is it doing?
I hate to cut you off, but
you're good.
John Carpenter, like, I don't know what John Carpenter did, but to get what he got out of the pets in this movie,
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Like, it is insane.
They had insanely well-trained dogs for this movie.
Like, all of the dogs that are in the base originally are all, being lax and laying down. And then the foreign one comes in being the thing, and it's acting really fucking weird.
And then the rest still lay there.
Yeah. And until it's like sitting there, and then the rest start like freaking out, and they're like, they start growling at it, and like, barking.
The thing dog starts growling first.
Yeah, it starts doing this low, like,
or you think it's growling.
It's like doing this like hissing almost.
Yeah.
And then the other dogs start like freaking out and like barking at it and like growling. And I mean, some of these dogs, like, you watch the footage, like, they're getting really aggressive. Like, they're baring their teeth and everything. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, and I wonder how they did that.
And the one is chewing a hole through the fit. Like, I was
going to say, they had that one smart dog that was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one trying to get out.
Yeah, that was chewing through.
Like, I wonder if they actually put that in, the thing in there, and was like, yeah, these dogs will freak out.
Yeah, could you imagine? Well, I imagine that they did something like put the animatronic in there to like freak them out.
Yeah.
And then they like,
because I don't know how you get that dog to chew through the damn fence.
Oh, no. I figured it out, guys. They had like 3 vacuum cleaners. They were just like back them into the corner, and they're just like freaking out. And then they just redid the audio. I mean, that's the easiest way to get that reaction out of a dog.
Well, we figured that one out.
That's why half that pen looked really clean in the next shot.
I mean, my favorite part of the movie was actually John Carpenter, one of the best directors of all time. The directing reminded me a lot of the Halloween directing, which was his movie after this. Lots of first-person POVs. The music at the end reminded me a lot of the beginning of the Halloween score.
Didn't Halloween come before this?
No,
79?
no, because they watched this in Halloween.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought Halloween was 79 for some reason.
Nope.
Huh.
But yeah, I thought it was really cool to just kind of see what he, learned and took to his next stuff.
And he did Escape from New York before this.
True. Yeah. And then I liked how a lot of I only knew Kurt Russell and Wilford Brimley, didn't know any of the other actors, which is nice because most movies I'm like, oh, there's so-and-so, there's another so-and-so, there's that guy from that thing. This time I was just like, I don't know any of these fucking people. No, until I said, that black guy looks familiar. There it goes. Oh, yeah.
That's Keith David. No, like Keith David, those were the only 3 that I knew. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. 4. There are 4 actors that I knew in this movie. Kurt Russell, Wilford Brimley, Keith David, and is it Charles Halloran? Who plays Norris, who was also in Dante's Peak, and that's the only 2 movies that I know him from. But I watched Dante's Peak like over and over and over again when I was in middle school, so I knew who he was.
Is that the one with
Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah,
and Linda Hamilton.
Right. Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I love that movie.
I rewatched it recently, and I was like, it's not as good as I remember, but it's still good.
I watched it a couple years ago.
It's serviceable.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
But anyway.
Yeah, there's so much about this movie that's insane. Just, I mean, the story alone, the acting,
the cinematography, like the lighting is just like, every time you see the lighting, there's always like a blue lighting against the character just to illustrate that icy tone of Antarctica. And like, even when they're in the base with like a lot of like lighting in there, they still have like a window or something that's producing a blue light on the characters, and you're just like, man, this looks so good.
I love the not knowing who was infected.
The atmosphere and the mystery is probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah,
it's extremely suspenseful. So a little bit of background: the first time I ever watched this movie was in 10 parts on YouTube. Split up. So somebody figured out a way through the copyright.
Yeah.
Because they excluded like 2 minutes of footage from the movie.
Oh.
So there was 10 parts, but they took out just like 2 minutes that didn't mean like anything to the story.
The credits.
I think that might have been part of it. But they like excluded it, and I was house sitting for my dad's friend, and on his computer I was watching it, and it was the trailer came out for The Thing, the prequel. And I was like, I remember hearing about this movie. I was like, I've never watched it though. So I like Googled it, and then I went to YouTube and I was watching like trailers and jumping down this rabbit hole. And lo and behold, I find the movie in 10 parts. So I start watching it, and with each part, I am just getting more and more drawn into this movie. Until by the 10th part, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, this is one of my favorite movies now. Like, and then I was never the same. Like, just watching it, like, I got to that 10th part, and I was like, I am buying this at FYE the first chance I get.
Yeah.
So, like, the very, like, next day or something, I went to FYE and bought it.
And then he brought it over to my house, and we watched it in the basement.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time watching it, I was like, it's like one of those things where you're like, I'm not really paying attention to it, and I got, it's soaked in or whatever, but then something was gnawing at me. I was like, there's something about that movie that was good. I wanted to go back and watch it. So eventually I went back and watched it and actually paid attention and was just like, wow, this is fucking incredible.
Yeah, and like there was like, I forget how long it was in between, but I remember we watched it and everyone else was just kind of like, about it. And I was like, why do you guys not appreciate this? And then like, it was like, after your first year of college or whatever, you came back and you're like, "Thing's fucking great." And I'm like, I know. It's like I tried to tell you guys.
I think we'd be missing out if we didn't talk about the effects while we're talking about
the effects. Yeah, the
Like
effects
for the 80s, they're
amazing,
terrific.
And especially like half of the effects are shot in reverse. A lot of like the tentacles grabbing onto things or the legs sprouting out of things are all done in reverse. To give that effect because it's more fluid.
Yeah.
Which is just amazing. And all the animatronics done by Rob Bottin look as good as you would do them today.
Yeah.
I mean,
really
Rob Bottin, you guys have seen his effects in other movies, I guarantee it. But I mean, he is just a groundbreaking animatronics and visual effects artist. everything that he made. I mean, he excels at the horror genre. That's just his bread and butter. But he does amazing work.
The story itself actually reminded me a lot of It. Like an extraterrestrial being comes down, can shapeshift, mess with you and stuff. Reminded me a lot of that. So I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I think my favorite scene is after Bennings comes out and he's all, thingified, and then they burn him, and they like take the other things that were alive, like the split head thing, and then Bennings, and they burn them, and McCready has the flame torch, and the rest of the camp is standing across from him. He's like, I know I'm human. And if all of you are one of those things, you'd attack me right now. So some of you must be human too. And it's just like sowing this paranoia.
Yeah.
Like just like these claws like going into everybody. It's just like, I think that's like some of the best setup of the entire movie. Because every scene after that, everybody is just on edge.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just like such a...
Which,
when
you think about it, like, yeah, like, why wouldn't you be? Like, you're standing there next to somebody who could potentially just be this alien that's going to take you over and mimic you.
Especially if it's in its final form, I guess you want to call it, where it perfectly replicates the person.
Yeah, like we were talking about, like when Bennings got assimilated. When Windows runs in, there's like blood everywhere. He's being assimilated. You see like the tentacles wrapped around him and everything. And he runs out of the room to tell people. And it's like 2 minutes in between when he runs to tell them and then they come back. And when they come back, everything is clean, pristine. The clothes are picked up. And Bennings is running outside in fresh clothes. There's no blood anywhere or anything. And he's like, he's the boy who cried wolf when they run in there. He's like, no, he's like, I swear to God, it was right there.
Yeah.
Like, and then they run outside chasing down Bennings, and Bennings hasn't fully transformed yet. And then they have to kill him. But I mean, like, it perfectly, like, it's insanely smart. It knows that, like, for being this ancient being or whatever, it knows, like, okay, these people are going to catch on if I leave any trace. So it takes care of any trace so quickly to throw them off the scent that they could possibly be a thing.
And then, of course, the score only amplifies, that feeling from legendary Ennio Morricone.
And
rest in peace.
John Carpenter.
Yeah, and, of course, John Carpenter.
Lots of John Carpenter.
The main theme.
I think that the main theme is probably the best piece of music.
The main theme is great.
But it's so good at setting. I wish that The Hateful Eight was a lot more like this movie. Like whenever trailers for that were coming out, I was like, ooh, it's going to be a lot like The Thing. And it was for a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be a movie for ever again that'll really encapsulate like the feeling that I have watching this movie.
Yeah.
I think the one true star of the movie is Kurt Russell's hat. As soon as I saw it, pointed it out.
He is nothing without his
Such charisma that hat carries.
And then, of course, we got our unfortunate prequel that was released in 2011.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and not watch that one.
Don't bother. I mean, if you really want to know like what happens at the Norwegian base, you can watch it. But
I'll just look it up.
Yeah, like honestly, watching the Thing trailer and then watching the movie right after, like how I did, I was like, oh, so that's the Norwegian base. I'm like, oh, so this stuff happens. But I would rather leave it ambiguous into the imagination, like as to how it actually happened.
Because if you watch them in order, you watch the prequel, and like you're not going to have the suspense of not knowing.
And especially like you remember in the prequel, half of the shit that happens during the credits.
Yeah.
Like they cut to the dude at the radio control where he slit his throat and slit his wrist, and you're just like, oh, he just killed himself because the Thing was going to break through the door. Like, okay. Like, all right. right, but like half the
The
shit
mystery is so much
yeah,
better.
half the shit they show you, they're just like, oh, remember these iconic moments? And
Like-
it's like, yeah, I do, but why'd you wait till the credits to show me?
Yeah, like the way that I would feel about like the imagery of that guy, like with his frozen blood hanging off of his wrists,
Yeah.
and like the fucking 3-inch gash he has in his throat. Like seeing that and being like, what the fuck? Why did he do that?
Yeah.
Over like seeing that, it's just like, oh, okay, he just does that because
Yeah.
you know it really like the imagination was really like the key to this movie. I think.
No, and like when you get to the Norwegian base, there's so much imagery where you're just like imagining what happened. And to me, I don't think it really needed a prequel because you see that imagery and you put it together in your head like, oh, Jesus, what the hell happened?
Mhm.
And then as the story progresses and you see the Thing in the American camp start to transform and take people over, you're like, oh, now I understand, why all this shit was the way it was at that camp.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need a prequel.
No.
You can put it all together yourself.
And that's the best, probably one of the best parts about the movie.
Yeah.
It is you then think back to what you saw at that other camp, and then you put it together.
Yeah.
So
There's no need for a prequel.
No.
I really enjoy the misdirection that John Carpenter does a couple times throughout the movie, where it's like Knowles and McCready go to his shack, and Knowles claims that he saw McCready's clothes, and we know that it can't transform clothes, so it like rips out of them. And they're like, I cut him loose. He has to be one of them. And then it's like, oh, that was our main character, and he's one of the Things now. And like we're on as an audience, we're like, oh shit, he's like the Thing. And then he comes back and they're trying to stop him, and he's threatening to blow everybody up. And then whenever they're testing the tubes, or their blood, I guess I should say, Windows looks so sinister whenever he's about to test his stuff.
And I said that to you while we were watching it. I was like, now that's brilliant, because Windows like sitting there and like you can barely see his pupils like under his brow, and you're just like, he is one of them. And like, I mean, Shawn and I knew, but you watch that scene and you're just thinking, okay, who's he gonna kill in this scene? And then it doesn't happen. And you're like, holy shit.
And then that kind of gets to it too, where it's like, oh, maybe it's discrediting McCready's theory here of lighting the blood on fire, and then even the other characters are dissenting, and it's like, this is bullshit, this isn't gonna do anything.
Yeah.
And I love that because it's Gary that says that. He's like, oh, I knew you'd say that, Gary. That's why we're gonna test you last. And as soon as he hits Palmer's blood, it jumps out of the petri dish.
Yeah.
And then he just starts fucking going wild.
But there's that nice little subtle, I mean, you notice it, but you probably don't think anything of it, is when he says, all right, he says, now time for Palmer, and Gary goes, this is bullshit. And he goes, he said, I thought you'd say that, Gary. That's why we'll test you last. But they cut to Palmer, and Palmer just gives this look like, well, here we go. Like, he gives like that subtle, like, here we go. And then it does it, and then he's just like, all right, well, time for me to break out and kill some people.
I didn't catch that.
When it popped up out of like the jar thing they were testing, and that's the one part of the movie that actually made me jump. I was like, oh shit, wasn't expecting that.
Oh yeah, because like when you watch it, like 90%, like if you watch it with anybody, if anybody who hasn't seen it, that's the part that they're going to jump at, is because it's so unexpected.
Yeah,
You
because
There
really
was
do
another
not
one
see
I
it
jumped at, and I can't remember what it was.
Was it Wilford Brimley showing up behind Gary in the generator room?
Maybe. I can't remember. I thought it was something around the dog cage, but I forget.
Maybe the dog jumping out at
Oh yeah, the dog like
Clark
comes out, yeah.
There's something about that petri dish scene, because even then you're like, okay, this makes no sense. Like, why would that actually work? So you're like, he's just trying to fool him. And then you're not expecting that to jump out, and when it does, you're like, holy fuck!
Because he does what, 2 or 3?
Yeah,
maybe even
4. He does 5. He does himself, Child's. No, he doesn't do Child's yet. He does himself, Clark, the Doctor, and then he does Windows. And I think Palmer's was the 5th one.
Okay,
whenever it jumps.
Because at that point you're like, this is
like,
bullshit.
Yeah, you're like,
you agree with
this
with
isn't
the
even
other guy.
fucking real. And then it's just like, oh fuck. Yeah, it's so good.
And I mean, his theory is pretty sound. Like, it's going to try to defend itself, like, no matter what. So if it tries to...
Because it's still a living organism in the blood.
Yeah, so if we burn it, then it's going to try to escape. And then when he does that and it jumps out, they're just like, "Oh shit, it's real!" And then Palmer's like, and starts freaking out and
Just destroying window.
yeah, picks up the dummy that is Windows and starts throwing it.
Oh
around.
my gosh.
All right, out of all of the effects, the Windows dummy is the goofiest looking thing.
But it was great.
Oh
He's
yeah,
getting
yeah.
eaten by like a Venus flytrap.
Yeah, I think my
That's-
favorite effect is the whole Norris transformation. That's another one that you're not expecting because Norris just has a heart attack and you're like, oh, okay, he's dying.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
I think that while it was assimilating Norris,
Oh, that he was dying.
that his body was like trying to fight it off and ended up going into cardiac arrest. And that's why he went into a heart attack mode, is because like it was trying to assimilate it, but it ended up causing cardiac arrest because of the stress that his body was taking trying to be assimilated. I think that's why he went.
Okay,
that was one of the crazier effects too, was his head coming off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like usually the 80s stuff with like this, whatever, I don't know.
Practical stuff.
Yeah. Like I think to that one Arnold movie,
Total Recall.
Yeah.
Where he takes his head off.
yeah, like that's some pretty bad stuff. I mean, great movie.
Also Rob Bottin.
Okay. But like this stuff looked great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought.
I loved the 80s cheese when the head crawls off and then it turns around like, no one saw me. See ya, and then gets torched.
It's just fucking crawling by.
Crawls away.
You're like, if
Oh,
he
that-
had
that's
fingers,
also-
he'd use finger guns when he turned around. He'd be like,
That's also an Easter egg in the It movie. You
Yeah.
brought it up earlier. Is whenever they're fighting, is it in the second It Chapter 2, I think?
I didn't watch it.
yeah, he turns into the spider.
Yeah, and well, he turns into the spider head, and then I think it's Bill Hader says, "You've got to be fucking kidding me," because
Yeah.
he sees and that's what Palmer says when he sees it.
Oh, okay.
Which I said to Mike that there are two references to the thing in Godzilla King of the Monsters. One is the Antarctic base where Monster Zero is Outpost 32, which in this movie, the base that they're on is Outpost 31. And when Ghidorah rises up out of the ice, O'Shea Jackson Jr. says, "You've got to be fucking kidding." Like, whenever it charges up its beam and everything.
Yeah.
So, like, I was like, okay, there are two references to the thing in this movie, which is awesome.
That's
You
great.
mean Ice Cube the second?
Yes. Ice Cube the second.
This is kind of another movie that is, it's another like pop culturally reference movie.
Yeah.
I feel like not a hell of a lot of people have seen this movie, but it's like something that people draw from a lot because it's just like so good.
I definitely.
Among Us?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like just the atmosphere and everything. I mean, Among Us was pretty much directly influenced by the thing.
Yeah.
And it's the most popular fucking game right now.
True.
And it's just like it's social deduction.
It's so
That's
weird.
why I love that game. And
Yeah.
I love this movie because it's the mystery and the intrigue. I just love
Yeah.
that. Love that stuff.
So what do we want to see out of the upcoming Thing remake before we go away?
Well, this is like the upcoming
They'll
Blumhouse
never
remake.
capture the magic.
No, it'll never be as good as this movie.
Yeah.
But apparently they're going by the original novel by John W. Campbell. Is that John W. Campbell?
I like how you looked at me, who's never even seen the movie.
I don't know. I was gauging the room. Like somebody tell me I'm right or
Could have been
wrong.
like, the one written by like Ash from Evil.
Oh yeah, the Necronomicon. But yeah, this is supposed to like be based on the original short story by John W. Campbell from 1938, I think.
Jeez.
So it's gonna be a
Well,
different.
that's what it is. They found like there was a portion of the book that wasn't like it. They didn't know where it was, and they had found it. So they're going to adapt it and adapt those pages, I guess, that have never been seen before.
Wow.
So I guess we'll see what that comes from, but I don't know.
I'll watch it. I probably won't like it as much as this. but-
I want to like it just because I love this movie.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Is like this is an adaptation that like most movies that
this
watch-
is a remake.
Yeah, this is a remake because like most adaptations that you watch based on books are done in that time period, like The Godfather or King Kong. Like they're all done within that time period. This is a remake / adaptation done in modern day because this is supposed to take place in 1982, not
Almost like-
1938.
Almost like what Scrooge did.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but this is more popular than the original 1953, The Thing from Another World.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, this is a case. The remake is better than the original. A very rare case, but it holds up. And that's the thing.
Is the original good in any way? Okay.
It's very Universal, cheesy monster. Like,
I want to say it's actually on HBO Max.
I think
it probably is.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's
I might
very,
go back just for shits and giggles.
It's
and watch
very
it.
much 50s monster movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly what you'd picture. But this is one of those rare instances where you take an adaptation done in modern day and pray to God that it works, and it does beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
So the Blumhouse one's probably going to be like a period piece of like the 1950s or some bullshit. I don't know how I feel
Or
about
the
it.
30s.
Yeah, or the 1930s. Yeah, instead of being like a 2020. Like, could you imagine if they made
I
it?
could imagine it in
Yeah.
2020.
Do you remember that, like, that I'm just, like, spitballing here, but, I don't know, you never read the short story.
I've not read it, no.
I've read a little bit of it, and, like, the way they describe McCready is this very tall Native American descent, like, very strong build guy, and I just imagine them casting Jason Momoa as McCready. I'd still watch it.
Yeah.
Like, if they cast him as that character, I'd be like, yeah, all right, that's believable.
Am I the
Interesting.
only one that really wants James Avery to be the director of the Thing remake reboot? Because I feel like Overboard with Anna Faris, Overlord has like a very like similar.
That's
vibe
hilarious.
To the Thing.
That's hilarious that you
Because
bring
of
that up,
the
because
Russell.
there are Kurt Russell ties to both of those movies that you just mentioned.
Yeah, it gives me like a very similar vibe, so I could definitely see him tackling once he's done doing Flash Gordon, I could see him jumping on.
I
that.
just watched Overlord for the first time, like,
Oh my God.
2 weeks ago.
It was
Yeah,
It's
so
pretty
many
good.
times.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I don't know. That was in like an original piece, I think. So maybe if he does an adaptation, it almost had that feel.
It was
but
like-
if it was like a little bit like
Overlord was like Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, the movie.
yeah, it was good, but yeah, it could have been better. I don't know. I just hope it's not awful. That's all I really hope from the second remake.
Blumhouse is like on a pretty good streak right now, so I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I hope-
I'll certainly watch it.
My biggest hope is that the Blumhouse remake reignites people to watch this version,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like
me too.
everybody has a very like great appreciation for this movie.
I mean, I feel like when they redid John Carpenter's other property, Halloween, I feel like younger people probably went to the theater, saw it, and were like, wow, I need to know all this stuff, and probably went and checked out the original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so hopefully that creates a new generation's love for the Thing.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else to say about it?
I don't think so.
I'm good.
All right, I guess I'll take it away with the ratings. I'm giving this comfortably a 10 out of 10.
Wow, you've never rated anything a 10 out of 10.
Just nonchalantly throws it out there like, 10 out of 10.
Oh, well, it is almost a perfect movie. Like, I say that about like other movies like Spider-Verse, but this is like that is like a 10-20% gap. This is like a 2-3% gap of not being a perfect movie. Like it basically is a perfect movie in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna second it.
I
was gonna give it a 10 out of 10, and I wasn't sure Shawn was, but now that he did it, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in there, because there is nothing. There's okay, I can watch a movie that is great, but there are always those lines where I'm like, that's cringy, that's shitty. Like, there are always like plot points that mean absolutely nothing to the rest of the story. There's none of that in this movie. This movie was written. Every single beat is perfect. Every line of dialogue is not some throwaway line. Everything means something in this movie, and it all comes back. And to me, it's like John Carpenter. I say this about a lot of, in my mind, I say this a lot about a lot of John Carpenter movies. The man is a genius. Like, if you sit down and watch his movies, they are great.
Mm.
So, and this is probably his masterpiece, in my opinion. So, yes, 10 out of 10.
This might be the highest I've ever rated anything. I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because this is my first viewing, so you know. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9. Yeah. There wasn't anything bad about it at all. So
one of us.
Yeah. Not much else to say that we haven't said. Shane?
Hate to be this guy.
Okay. Are we gonna have to beat you up?
Yeah, if you don't ever hear me on this podcast again, it's because they murdered me after they pressed end record. But I really liked the movie, enjoyed the directing, the score, the effects and everything. But I feel like I need to maybe watch it a few more times to really soak it all in. But I'll still give it the lowest grade of the hosts here. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Really liked it, but need to watch it again.
Oh, no, not an 8.5 out of 10. Now we are going to have to beat you up.
Well, don't worry, Shane. Aaron and I will watch it for you again next week.
That's right.
Just put
With
me
the
on
commentary.
Put me on Zoom and set me next to you on a laptop.
Well, we're gonna watch it with the commentary, so as long as you're all right with that.
Alrighty, guys. That was our recommendation for this week.
Yeah.
And now we've got another one rolling for us.
Yeah. Another week where I was unprepared.
That's all right. I've been planning this recommendation for probably 3 months.
Yeah.
Just
Makes
Sean
sense.
sitting in his room. Yeah.
I was so excited.
So I'm not gonna lie. When was it? It was the week when I recommended Scrooge. I was like, I didn't say it, but I was like, "Are you recommending what I think you're gonna recommend?" And you're like, "Hold on." And you went, "Yes," and I was like, "Yes." I was like, I know it's coming.
How disappointed Drew have been if he was like, yeah, and then he was like, my recommendation? Christmas Vacation.
I'd have been fine with that because we just watched that on Saturday. But like he was like, yes, because if we plan it right, that it's going to release on the 21st, and I was like, yes. I was like, I know what it is.
That's still crazy. I've been sitting on this one for a while because I really enjoyed it. It's going to be the Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge that came out this year.
Right.
This movie is very brutal for an animated movie. And I love Mortal Kombat, so.
Alrighty, guys. That is our show. I hope you enjoyed our talk about all the new movie news and The Mandalorian. I hope you liked our review and discussion of The Thing. If you don't want to be spoiled for Scorpion's Revenge, make sure to watch it before next episode. Thank you again, Shane, for coming and being on the podcast with us today. If you want to find Shane, go to Shane St. Laurent on YouTube. His stuff will be down in the description. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.